All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back. Yeah, this is a slightly different look, but that's because I have a video I need to show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys a video of Khabib that merited an entire video to this moment. I just did a live stream. I remembered I wanted to do this. I almost put it in the live stream. I was like, no. This is not something that can be hidden in the middle of a live stream, and we risk people like not seeing it. So if you don't know, I'm a huge Khabib fan. I've never met him. I know nothing about I've seen what you guys have seen, but I am a huge, huge fan of the way he carries it, and especially of the excellence that he carries as a competitor and as a mixed martial artist, and also as a strategist. And what I'm going to show you right here, I watched this and I thought about it after. And I'm like, if that's true, now I guess honestly, this is what I'm going to say. If you watch this, the first thing you have to ask yourself before you watch this video is, would Khabib lie about something relating to a fight? Is he the kind of person that would make something up, like straight up just make it up, just so that he sounded better after the fight? Do you think that's a possibility that Khabib would lie and say, yeah, I did that on purpose, if hypothetically he didn't actually do it on purpose? Because I don't think he would. I don't think he would. I do not believe he would lie about a thing like that. And so if he says he did something on purpose, then he probably did. And with that in mind, when you actually think about this, after I show you this video, you're going to be like, damn, son. Damn. Damn. Now, really quick, before we get into this and then we run through it, I got to take a moment on this Friday to thank the sponsor of this channel and video, IPVanish. We've talked about them a bunch on the channel, but I will reiterate to you guys, your data is not safe without a protector of your IP and VPN. And thus, if you want to both support my channel and also protect yourself, I would highly suggest IPVanish, and everybody appreciates it. It works awesome. I have them on all my devices. And if you're going to purchase it, go to ipvanish.com/Jesse and then use the promo code Jesse, spelled exactly like my channel has it. Thank you, IPVanish, and thank all of you guys for protecting your own data. Anyway, so here's the deal. Let's watch this thing and then we'll react to it because, again, let's go.
Dustin tried to choke me, and I'm like thinking Dustin is like crazy guy. He think I'm gonna tap in front of my father. I was like, okay, let him do this. Okay, let him do this. He tried to choke me. I gave him space, And I remember from I told Islam, he jumped to guillotine with the right hand. When I go to the double leg, I'm gonna give him my neck, and then I'm gonna make him tired with this, because when you try to choke someone with guillotine, takes so much energy. Twice I give him my neck, and after that I feel him like he's finished, And there, when father was, it was like an amazing feeling, This is completely two feelings when I fight with Gaethje, last fight without father, and fight with Poirier with father.
Yeah, so that. And we're going to watch it again. Believe me, I watched it 4 or 5 times. And just actually wrap your brain around that for a second. Because there's so many different components of a mixed martial arts fight, obviously. And I've heard a lot of different people give a lot of different takes on the importance of game plan and strategy. And I've heard people who I am in no position to argue with, in terms of experience, say that they didn't think that game planning is important. It's like you train your skills, you have the skills that you have, and then you go in there and you fight. And so I'll just, as a prerequisite, say, I'm not really in a position to argue with that person, but I completely disagree. I just absolutely fundamentally, completely disagree with that. Because to me, generally speaking, fights break down in terms of strengths and weaknesses. How do your strengths match up against a person's weaknesses? How well can you figure out a person's tendencies and use them against you like that, or use them against them. I mean, like, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm being polite. Like, I don't even understand how anyone could believe that game planning is not important. It makes no sense to me. Cause like, think about all the great fighters. You go in there, you know, and you're downloading. Actually, you don't even need to be a great fighter. Just be like a fighter. Like, just think about like if you've ever done any boxing, kickboxing, etc. I mean, this is, you know, kind of, I don't know, basic. You go in there, and the reason you don't just immediately start barreling down at a guy is you're figuring out what they're good at. You're figuring out what their tendencies are so that you can understand where the danger is, and then you can understand where the openings are going to be. Right? Oh, wow. You know, like this guy's got a, you know, he really, assuming you haven't watched any tape on him, right? It's like, whoa, that guy's cross is hot. That thing comes out of nowhere. Mental note, you know, when this guy moves to his right, he likes to do, you know what I mean? It's like all kinds of little things like that. And then like, so, you know, when you watch game tape on guys, you just you're preparing for that, right? It's like, okay, this guy likes this, like for Magomed as an example. I watched a lot of game tape on Magomed, you know, going for the Anthony Smith fight. And it's like the primary danger zone with Magomed is he's got his lead hand is really, really good. He's got a great jab and hook with his lead left hand, or his lead right hand. And he's got a really good high kick. He comes out like no tell. His high kick, his left high kick is a piper, and it comes with no giveaway. But he also likes to pick his shots. He likes to take his time. You know, you don't see him get into these slugging matches, but he is still dangerous in slugging matches. If you watch the Kudalaba fight, he can put a guy's lights out if you get into a completely reckless, you know, anyway, I mean, you don't understand what I'm saying, but like, so you're like, okay, if he likes to pick his shots, you want to put pressure on him, yada, 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 game planning. But generally, game planning goes to a certain point, right? Understand what their strengths are, what their weaknesses, you know, oh, this guy's great at this, stay away from that. He's weak here. We could take him down and do whatever. I've never heard game planning on a level like that, where I'm gonna give him my neck because he likes to jump for a guillotine. I trust in my own ability to defend a guillotine well enough that I'll let him burn himself out thinking that he has a guillotine when he doesn't, you know, because if someone's going to tell me that there's not a person in the lightweight division that could finish a guillotine on Khabib, I mean, fuck, like, I guess I'm not really in a position to say that sounds impossible. But I think it's even less impossible that Khabib has a technique to where if he knows someone's jumping for a guillotine, he can make it feel like they have it locked in when they don't. And he could use that against a guy that he knows is going to jump for a guillotine. But Dustin's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's not like me jumping for a guillotine. You know, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. So if Khabib actually game planned that and intentionally gave him his neck so that he could think that he's about to finish the fight and burn himself out, it's like such a level of excellence and brilliance that I kind of can't even wrap my brain around it. And if you really think about this too, where is Dustin the most dangerous? You know, I mean, like, or at the very least, at the time when he was fighting Khabib, what is one of the things that you really had to take into account when it comes to fighting Dustin Poirier? Is his endurance and his ability to just continue and go. Like he's in the fifth round of most of his fights, like against Dan Hooker, he's still banging after taking punishment and just, you know, going balls out for 5 rounds. And you know that Khabib is absolutely someone who fights against the gas tank. And I was just talking about this in the Juliana Pena live stream that I just did. I'm going to talk about it again right now because it's a point that I think is important to make. That, like, if you get gassed out, you are, you know, there are people who can fight through being gassed out, but you're not capable of performing at a high level when you're like super gassed out. You're slow. You know, some people are mentally tough enough that they'll just keep on going as long as they can. But you're obviously if a person is, you know, if their gas tank is here and yours is here, you're in serious trouble. Like, you're in serious, serious trouble. You're not going to win, actually. You know, 2 professionals, one guy has that much more gas than the other one, you're not going to win unless it's super late in the fight and you're already up a bunch. And so fighting against the gas tank is super important. And, like, you know, what I was saying about Juliana is like, dude, you look at I titled the live stream "Is Juliana on PEDs?" because I heard 3 people ask me that, which is ridiculous. I do not think she's on PEDs at all. I think if you look at her body transformation from 2017 to 2022, what it looks like to me is she's a person who has put in tremendous work, has put in a tremendous amount of work. And you could see by how she beat Amanda the first time that she is a person who can endure punishment. And so when you're fighting with the gas tank, right? Like when you actually are a person who uses your gas tank as a weapon, that's one of the most, if not the most gangster way that you can approach the fight business or the fight game, because there's only one way to make that into a weapon. And it's through absolute torture on yourself, through punishing yourself, just making it miserable on yourself and knowing that you're doing it more than the other guy. You are prepping more. Your endurance is going to be stronger than the other guy because you're going to put in more work than they are, and you'll work smarter. You'll do whatever breath. Anyway, you can understand the point I'm making. But then in addition to that, we all know Khabib thinks about the gas tank. Like, I'm going to take him down, make him tired. Like, make him tired. Yeah. Like that's something he thinks about in every single fight. Make him tired. How are they going to beat me once they're tired? And so if his strategy with Dustin was to intentionally give him his neck, let's watch that again, actually. Let's watch it one more time.
And Dustin tried to choke me, and I'm like thinking, like, Dustin is like crazy guy. He think I'm gonna tap in front of my father. I was like, okay, let him do this. Okay, let him do this. He tried to choke me. I gave him space, And I remember, like from I told Islam, he jumped to guillotine with the right hand. When I go to the double leg, I'm gonna give him my neck, and then I'm gonna make him tired with this, because when you try to choke someone with guillotine, takes so much energy. Twice I give him my neck, and after that I feel him like he's finished, and. And there, like when father it was like an amazing feeling, This is completely 2 feelings when I fight with Gaethje, last fight without father, and fight with Poirier with father. When Dustin tried,
like I can't explain. Like, I talked to Danny Molina again, like yesterday, Anthony's coach, and we were talking about how certain fights and fighters, he's talking because he was saying something about watching one fight, and he's like, dude, I get like choked up. I'm all, bro, I can't even tell you how many videos I've filmed that I've had to edit out portions because I made myself cry thinking about certain fights or guys and what they had on the line and what they fought through. And then he was just like, dude, me too. He's like, I'm like, he's like, I cry all like that. I get so inspired by a performance or a guy that I can't get through without crying. And that is a 100%. I mean, anybody who's watched enough of my stuff, you could tell, like, you're like, does he look like he's about to cry? It's like, you're talking about strangers. I'm like, I get it, dude. I'm not crying over a dude. I'm inspired by what a person is willing to go through to attain something that they want, whether it's under pressure because they want to get out of a POW camp, but more like that's actually less inspiring to me than something that a person chooses. They don't have to do this. They don't have to do it, but they want that thing so bad that this is what they'll put themselves through. And it's like, that's why I love Mixed Molly Wapari's content so much, dude, is because it puts that in perspective. For any of the fighters that he covers most, it puts that in perspective where you understand what is driving them and what they're after and why they are what they are. Every once in a while, there's someone where you're just like the Peter Yan one as an example. It's a great documentary, but like Peter Yan, I just look at him like, I think he's just the hardest person on earth. Like, I don't like, it doesn't like, and maybe I just probably don't know enough about it, but like, I couldn't tell you what the underlying driving thing for Peter Yan is other than he's the hardest human on earth, but like that feeling I get with certain fights and certain stories or whatever, that's what I get watching Khabib. Is like, this is a person where there's so much underneath, like why he fights and like why this stuff's important to him and like, and what's driving his journey, that he's like the embodiment of what I'm talking about. You know, just hearing him talk about it is like, damn, man, you know, like he's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I am a huge fan. That's why I hope he comes back. My God, man, if he came back to fight Charles, but I can't root against Islam because I know how important it is to these guys. But I mean, if you're an MMA fan and you're not rooting for Charles versus Khabib, come on. Anyway, that is what I've got, though. So subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. I love you guys. Peace.